L is for listening and good communication. Poor communication is at the core of many relationship problems. Jumping to conclusions, trying to read minds, and needed to be right. That's all really bad, right? That's all poor communication. Jumping to conclusions, trying to read minds, and needing to be right are only a few traits that doom communication. When people do not connect with each other in a meaningful way, their own minds take care of the relationship and the many imaginary problems arise. Too often in relationships, we have expectations and hopes that we never explicitly communicate to our partners or colleagues. We assume they should know what we need and become disappointed when they don't accurately read our minds. Clear communication is essential if relationships are to be mutually satisfying. You arbitrarily predict what another person is thinking and then react to that imagined information. It's kind of hard for me to read. I'm sorry about that. Mind reading is often just a projection of what you think. Even if the couples have been married for 30 years, it's impossible for them to always be right about what is going on in the other person's head. Asking for clarification is essential to good communication. Having to be right. When a person has to be right in a conversation, there is no communication, only a debate. Needing to be right destroys effective communication. Lack of monitoring and follow-up. Okay. Having a good attitude and assume the other person wants the relationship to work as much as you do. Doing so can set the mood for positive outcome. I call this having positive basic assumptions about the relationship. Positive basic assumptions. State what you need clearly and in a positive way. In most situations, being direct is the best approach, but the way you ask is important. Decrease distractions. Tell me what you understand, I said. Be a good listener. I hear you saying or you mean to say are the gold standard of good communication. Doing this allows you to check out what you heard before you respond. Monitor and follow up on your communication. It's very important not to give up. I hear you saying, is that what you mean? As you can see, these are two completely different conversations. One is demanding and limits communication, while the other promotes communication and understanding. Active listening in a relationship increases its level of understanding and communication. And when people feel understood by you, they feel closer to you. Begin practicing this technique on at least 2 people every day for a week. See if it doesn't increase your communication abilities and thus your ability to learn from others. As we have seen, the way you communicate with others can help or virtual relationships. Studies have shown that is a technique called active and constructive communication can quickly strengthen your relationships and improve your mood. Active and constructive, giving both authentic and enthusiastic support. Authentic. Yes, I love this word. Active and constructive. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. Tell me all about it. Enthusiastic support, eye contact, authentic reaction. Yeah, authentic reaction is the most important thing. Even it's like just in a kind of fake reaction. It's they know that's the signal, right? So we always just try to be authentic, which is just the best answer for everything, especially in relationship, of course. So in healthy relationships, it's important to say what you mean. And that way, assertiveness and communication go hand in hand. Being assertive means you express your thoughts and feelings in a firm yet reasonable way, not allowing others to run over you emotionally, and not saying yes when that's not what you mean. Assertiveness never equates with being mean or aggressive. Do not give in to the anger of others just because it makes you uncomfortable. Anxious people do this a lot. They are so anxious that they agree in order to avoid the retention. Unfortunately, doing this teaches others to bully you to get their way. We teach others how to treat us by what we allow in our lives. Being assertive in the face of another's angers doesn't mean you have to be angry back, but it does mean you don't agree with someone simply because you're uncomfortable. When you're feeling anxious about another person's anger, it is a good time to do the deep breathing techniques I taught you earlier. Take 3 deep, slow breaths and slow breath, and really think about what your opinion is. Then state it clearly without much emotion. Say what you mean and speak up for what you believe is right. People will respect you more. People like others who are real and who say exactly what's on their minds. Maintain self-control. Being angry, mean, or aggressive is not being assertive. You can be assertive in a calm and a clear way. Be firm and kind if possible. Above all, be firm in your stance. Again, we teach other people how to treat us. So when we give it to their temper tantrums, we actually teach them the way to control us. When we assert ourselves in a firm yet kind way, others have more respect for us and will treat us accordingly. Now, if you allowed others to emotionally run over you for a long time, they are going to be resistant to change. If you stick to your guns, you will help them learn a new way of relating to you, and the relationship will improve. Ultimately, you also will respect yourself more. Be assertive only when it is necessary. If you assert yourself all the time for unimportant issues, you will be perceived as controlling, which invites oppositional behavior. T is for time. Relationships require actual physical time. time and willingness to listen. Special time, which involves spending 20 minutes a day doing something with your child that he or she wants to do. 20 minutes is not much time, but this exercise makes a huge difference in the quality of your relationships. I have one rule for this exercise: no commands, no questions, and no directions. It's not a time to try to resolve issues. It is just a time to be together and do something your child wants to do. Look for ways to spend time with the people who are important to you. Think of this time as an investment in the health of the relationship. Smile. Make eye contact. Identify themselves by name. Let people know what they were doing and why. Ended every interaction by asking, "Is there anything else you need?" These things were easy to do, and they indicated that the service providers were present and focused on the interaction at hand. Being present in the moment with your spouse, friend, or colleague can help make the other person feel appreciated and secure. Earlier in this book, we discussed eliminating the ends, automating negative thoughts that invade your mind. When you're suffering in a relationship, it's important to inquire into the thoughts that are making you suffer. Ask yourself what thoughts are repeatedly going through your mind, and then consider how accurate they might be. If you are fighting with your husband, for example, and you hear yourself thinking, "He never listened to me," write that down. Then ask yourself if it is true. If it is a true idea, if it is true, no. You just try to think, overthinking, I could say, repeatedly. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. It's not true. Irene, it's not true. Yeah, so if it's true, ask yourself, if it is true, does he really never listen to you? Often when you tell ourselves little lies about the other person, it puts unnecessary wedges between us and them. Relationships require accurate thinking in order to thrive. Whenever you feel sad, mad, or nervous in relationships, check out your thoughts. If there are ends or lies, stomp them out. Yeah, I always just try to ask myself, Irene, is it true? No, it's not true. It's just in my thoughts and in my assumptions as well, right? So I should check all the time. And it's for noticing what you like. Noticing what you like a lot more than what you don't like is one of the screens to having great relationships. Paying attention to what you like encourages more of the behaviors. I was inadvertently teaching him to be a little monster in order to get my attention. I started collecting penguins to remind myself to notice what I like about others more than I do not like. I now have more than 2,000 penguins. What do you do when the important people in your life do not do what you want them to do? Do you criticize them or make them feel miserable? Or do you just pause and decide to notice what you like more than what you don't like? This is a critical point that's important for changing behavior. Focus on the behavior you like more than the behaviors you don't like. Yeah. John Gottman, who discovered the number of positive comments to negative ones significantly predicts marital satisfaction, and the chances of staying together versus getting divorced. Discover the number of positive comments. Keep in mind that balance is important. When comments are too positive, they lose their impact. Yes, that's true.